So if you're involved in Gala Games, you know that there's an ongoing lawsuit filed by Eric Schromeyer, the co-founder of Gala Games, to another co-founder, Wright Thurston. And we have some updates, and I want to go through the documents with you. Again, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm never going to tell you to buy, sell, hold any crypto project. I am also not a lawyer. This is just me reading the documents, sharing my layman's point of view, and giving some perspective. So let's jump right in. This document was created on the 1st of September, and I'm going to do some reading, so just sit back and relax. I'll do all the heavy lifting. Let's go down here. So this, again, from Eric Schromeyer, Wright Thurston. Plaintiff Eric Schromeyer derivatively and on behalf of nominal defendant Blockchain Game Partners Inc., Gala Games, or the company, moves the court under Rule 65 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedures for the entry of a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction freezing certain digital assets, Gala token, allegedly stolen, by defendants Wright Thurston and True North United Investments, which I guess is his investment company, ordering defendants to provide an immediate accounting of the stolen assets, Gala, and permitting expedient delivery. Plaintiff seeks emergency relief in order to protect Gala Games' ability to recover digital assets that defendants stole from Gala Games. Basically, what this is saying is that I don't necessarily need to read the entire thing, but it's basically saying that Thurston allegedly, or to Gala Games, stole $130 million. They want that money back. They also do not want him selling any of his assets. That's basically why this freeze order is, a restraining order has been filed. And again, the matter arises from the intentional misconduct of defendant Thurston and True North, including stealing cryptocurrency from Gala Games in the form of 8,644,014, blah, 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 Gala tokens, and going to extraordinary lengths to hide, dissipate, exchange, and or liquidate more than $130 million worth of the stolen Gala. Plaintiff brings this motion in an effort to stop further dissipation, which basically means from what I believe anyway, keep Thurston from liquidating his Gala, thus possibly harming the project. Specifically, plaintiff seeks an order preventing defendants from further dissipating the stolen Gala, ordering defendants to provide an immediate accounting, as set forth more fully below. In an effort to dissipate the stolen Gala, Thurston has already engaged in a complex scheme to exchange the stolen Gala for numerous other cryptocurrencies, making the asset harder to trace. As used herein, unless otherwise specified, and for the ease of reference, the stolen Gala, quote, refers to both the actual Gala tokens stolen from Gala Games and the other cryptocurrencies for which Thurston has exchanged the stolen Gala. So basically what they're saying is they want to know where Gala went to, and basically looking at Coinbase and some of these other centralized exchanges to give them, basically that information. And I'm going to tell you right now, in my view, Gala will never be listed on Coinbase right now, because they don't need this BS going on in their exchange. And now if they're forced by court order to release, Thurston's wallet addresses to verify that the, Gala went into that account, I think that's bad. Such an order is necessary to maintain plaintiff's ability to locate, preserve, and recover the stolen Gala, and ultimately obtain equitable relief for Gala Games in the form of disgorgement and return of the stolen Gala. So of course they don't want to have their game platform compromised anymore. They want this money back to keep the integrity of Gala going forward, even though there's some serious credibility issues right now with Gala. In an effort to locate the stolen Gala, Counsel, owned by plaintiff, retained Kroll Associates, an investment firm. Kroll determined that Thurston has engaged in a complex, multi-layered web of hundreds of transactions, commingling the stolen Gala with other assets and moving or exchanging it in small increments in order to dissipate, lawyer speak. Just say to liquidate or to sell or get rid of something. The stolen Gala, similar to money laundering. A visual representation of this web of transfers of the stolen Gala between various virtual wallets is below. So I'm going to show you guys basically what they're getting a visual representation of. That's just a complete mess. So it looks like, you know, my 7-year-old drew something really cool. But anyway, let's go on. Thurston's dissipation tactics have the effort of obscuring the origin of funds and may make it possible to avoid triggering value-based thresholds for suspicious activity reports, and also to obscure where funds have been sent to make it harder to recover them. While Kroll was able to trace those transactions using blockchain scanning tools up to a point, but once the stolen Gala is transferred to wallets in centralized exchanges or virtual asset service providers, visibility is lost. Of course, because once you transfer crypto into a centralized exchange, it goes into this big pool. And then the exchange will do internal work and say, oh, this person actually bought, 10 million Gala, so we need to take 10 million Gala out of that pool and put it in his or her account, or in his or her wallet. So once money goes into the exchange, or once crypto goes into that exchange, you can't see inevitably where it goes. That's going to be where they would need a court order or something to force Coinbase or these other exchanges to provide them the wallets that the said crypto Gala, stolen Gala, went to. Strand in the spiderweb of transactions ultimately ends in a wallet on a VOSP, at which point defendants have effectively hidden the assets from public view. Additionally, Thurston has recently transferred Gala to Ox, it's another exchange, which warns that it is not available in the United States due to local laws and regulations. Emergency injunction relief is warranted here. Defendants do not dispute that they took the stolen Gala. Thus, plaintiff is likely to succeed in the merits of his claims because the evidence demonstrates that the stolen Gala belonged to Gala Games. Further, defendants have already demonstrated a willingness to dissipate and hide the stolen Gala, and irreparable harm will be caused by the loss of these assets. And all these circumstances necessitate the immediate hearing and an order freezing the stolen Gala, including restraining Thurston and any entity under his direct or indirect control from further selling, transferring, or otherwise disposing of the stolen Gala. Ordering Thurston to provide an accounting of the stolen Gala within 14 days, and number 3, permitting limited expedited discovery. Okay, so I'm jumping down a little bit here where it says Thurston is being sued for fraud in numerous cases with damages exceeding $200 million and has evidenced a pattern of non-disclosure in litigation. Thurston has a long history of litigation evidencing a pattern of alleged defraudery. But you didn't do your homework and research this guy before you created this multi-million dollar, nearly billion-dollar company? I still have a hard time reconciling that fact. If you miss something like that, how can we trust that you didn't miss anything else? That's just my opinion. Okay, so I didn't go through the entire multi-page document. A lot of that stuff was covered in my previous video, and I'll post it in the description box below. So if you want to go back and check out my initial video on that, you can. So this is all happening. This was filed on the 1st of September. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to jump to a document. So to recap, Eric, president of Gala Games, co-founder of Gala Games, has filed to freeze a request to freeze an injunction to freeze assets, Gala Games, by Thurston and any company he belongs to, so he doesn't have the ability to sell, liquidate, do whatever he needs to do. Thus, if you do that, if he were to dump billions and billions of tokens back into the market, that would continue the drop of Gala Games and could damage the infrastructure of the company. So now we're going to take a look. We're going to go through the court's decision. And this actually came out on the 13th, I believe. So let's take a look. All right. So now we have the court's decision. And this came out, I believe, as I said, I believe the 13th, a couple of days ago. But I actually looked on the bottom of this document and it doesn't have a date. So I'm assuming it's around this time. So I apologize if I misquoted a date. But the previous document was filed on the 1st of September because it was dated on the bottom of the document. So let's take a look at this now. All right, so this is basically going to be the court's decision. So before the court is a motion for an order to freeze assets for an accounting for expedited discovery and an immediate hearing. The motion filed by plaintiff Eric Schromeyer on behalf of nominal defendant Blockchain Game Partners Inc., Gala Games, having reviewed the motion and exhibits thereto, as well as the defendant's opposition, which I'm going to share with you guys. After hearing argument and evidence on the matter, the court finds good cause to believe that an asset freeze is necessary to preserve the status quo and enjoin defendant Wright Thurston and True North United Investments from further dissipating or transferring any of the Gala cryptocurrency that was transferred from the 43 wallets identified below, or any proceeds of the transfers, exchange, or sale of that Gala. Plaintiff, so basically they're telling us, they're giving us their ruling. The judge has given us his ruling. Plaintiff has demonstrated, Gala, has demonstrated that the company will suffer irreparable injury absent an order enjoining further dissipation of the stolen Gala. Plaintiff has demonstrated that the threatened injury to plaintiff outweighs whatever damage the asset freeze may cause defendants. Plaintiff has demonstrated that freezing the stolen Gala is not adverse to the public interest. Plaintiff has demonstrated that he is likely to succeed on his claims that Thurston breached his fiduciary duty to the company and that defendants converted the stolen Gala from the company for their own use and benefit to the detriment of the company. Ooh, that's big. Plaintiff has demonstrated that he is entitled to the equitable remedy of an accounting. Plaintiff has demonstrated that good cause exists to discover information from defendants and third parties on an expedited basis. Okay, so that sounds to me, again, I'm not a lawyer, that the court is basically saying, yeah, we're going to go ahead and petition these centralized exchanges to find out what's going on with the Thurston wallets on these exchanges. In so finding, the court hereby orders and grants the following relief. Asset freeze. Okay, so without going through all this stuff here, basically saying that Thurston and True North cannot sell, transfer, do anything. Everything's been frozen. They can't liquidate it. They can't do anything with it. Everything's got to stay exactly where it is. These right here that you're seeing are the wallets, the 43 wallets that they're alleging. And I'm using that because, as far as I know, nothing has been proven that these are Thurston's wallets that he did all of his transfers, I believe to. So there we go. Coinbase is ordered to freeze the 771 wallets set forth on Exhibit 1 to this order. Wow, he's got 771 wallets? I wonder how they know that. Anyway. Exhibits 1 through 13 in this order will be provided to the court by plaintiff in advance of the hearing on the motion. Binance is ordered to freeze the 65 wallets set forth on Exhibit 2 to this order. Genesis Trading is ordered to freeze the 46 wallets set forth. KuCoin, freeze 25 wallets. Gemini, freeze 13 wallets. BitTrue, 12 wallets. Wow, that's change now? I didn't even know there was a change now. 11 wallets. Kraken, 6 wallets. Circle, 9 wallets. Swissborg, 7 wallets. Binance, freeze their 10 wallets. Crypto.com, 3 wallets. So every single exchange, centralized exchange that has what they believe accounts for Thurston, they have to freeze. They can't do anything with any of the Gala. And within 7 days following the date of this order, defendants are ordered to submit in writing and serve upon plaintiff an accounting sworn on oath detailing. So this just talks about, which transfer, what they're for, all the specifics. Again, I'm not going to read this to you because I don't want to bore you to sleep. Plaintiffs are authorized to serve subpoenas upon the VOSPs identified above. All right, so now they can do subpoenas to all these crypto exchanges. So this is dated something 2023. There really is no date. So it sounds to me, it looks to me like the court has ruled in Gala's favor that they're going to freeze all of his assets, anything in his wallets, and they're going to allow subpoenas to be filed with these crypto exchanges. And man, I get it. I totally get what he's got to do with the subpoenas, but this is not going to endear them to these crypto exchanges, in my view anyway. So we're going to have to see what happens. So my gut is telling me that I believe that Gala Games definitely has tremendous leverage. I think they have a lot of evidence that they haven't even shown, whereas, Wright Thurston seems to have empty calories. It's basically he's saying, well, Gala did this or someone did that or whatever, but there's really no proof. He hasn't shown any evidence. There's no anything really except for what he's been saying, whereas Gala seems to have a lot more documentation. Again, and the court thought so too. They believe that their Gala Games' argument was valid, that everything should be frozen, that the crypto exchanges need to provide the information to Gala Games and to the courts so they can see what's going on. So my gut's telling me that this is looking really bad for Wright Thurston. I think in the end, Gala Games will prevail. Again, I'm not a lawyer. This is just my gut telling me. But things are moving quicker than I thought because in the court, things could take years. So I have a feeling this is going to be settled quickly. So Thurston could just be done. He'll have to resign everything and give up everything, I'm sure. And then Gala will move forward, which could be a bullish signal. That could be a really bullish move for Gala. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But that's kind of my take on it. And again, if you like any of the videos I'm providing, please like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. It's a small click for you, but it's a big deal for me. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. And remember, here at the Crypto Dojo, crypto never sleeps. I'll talk with you guys soon.